guys? Welcome to the February 4th edition of NBA 3-Ball, presented by Establish the Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher, getting ready to break down a loaded 10-game slate on Wednesday with some news and some fantasy ads at the end. 10 minutes, thumbs up and subscribe, please. And let's start with the Blazers. They have a wild injury report. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Damian Lillard has a little ab issue. He said that he expects treatment to kind of get him through it. Says he's had this issue before. Certainly think he's going to play, but worth noting he is questionable. Derrick Jones Jr., also a good sign. He is questionable, while Nazir Little, CJ, and Nurkic also out. Obviously, Zach Collins too. So, I mean, don't forget, Simons aggravated his hamstring injury, so it's going to be tough for him to get up there. So, if for some reason Dame doesn't play, they are going to have to get real funky. Gary Trent Jr.'s got to handle the ball. Rodney Hood a little bit too. We've seen him get in the Utah days, got a little bit of ball handling, so he'd be busy. We saw his minutes cap's gone too, so that would be big for him. But yeah, again, bottom line here is I'd be really shocked if Dame doesn't play. And then the other item we hit on yesterday was Kevon Looney. He's now out at least 2 weeks. This guy can't stay healthy. And as we said yesterday, the Warriors are out of centers. So Juan Toscano Anderson's going to start, presumably, next to Draymond Green. And I mean, they probably have to cut either Smilojic or Marquise Chris or somebody to play center minutes right now. After the game, Steve Kerr said that Toscano Anderson's headed for a lot of minutes. This is the one reason we were purposely deactivating him to save his two-way days. So yeah, he's going to play. So yeah, definitely a stream, definitely a DFS punt after Pascal, who may still be on a minutes limit from that back thing. So yeah, I think Pascal may get his minutes increased. I said last time Steve Kerr made him look at the clock. So expect Toscano to still get the bulk of the minutes there though. Not much to really say for the Sixers. They didn't go small ball this time with that tie bowl lineup they were trying to use with Ben Simmons more. Dwight was just pretty solid in the back end, but Joel is just a beast when he's healthy. Takes over defensively. Tobias Harris made some really good defensive plays too. He looks great. Ben, they're running some different actions with him, kind of on the weak side. So interesting, but not really anything to take away from it from a fantasy perspective. The Pacers got the Sega Baba and the road back-to-back and got shredded by the Bucks. Sabonis is just such a baller. Miles Turner was questionable with a shoulder injury, but wasn't aggressive on offense at all. This is a shooting shoulder. Wouldn't panic yet. Definitely keep an eye on it, though. Well, again, nothing really going on here. TJ McConnell continues to get a lot of two-point guard lineup minutes, even three, with some Aaron Gordon minutes, too. So he's been fine. If you've had him on your roster, he's certainly been worth using. Giannis was just an easy play today. Too bad this game wasn't close because the Pacers give up so many at-rim shots. And he had his triple-double in 30 minutes, finished with 21, 14, and 10. Again, this game was over midway through the third quarter, so he would have been a lot better if this game had been close. Bobby Portis continues to play great. He's been one of the best signings of the offseason. And Bryn Forbes, he has some good rapport with Giannis as well. Wasn't all garbage time either, but yeah, nothing really to say here besides the Bucks look good when they're looking good. The Mavs get a much-needed win in Atlanta. Luka did his thing. Highlight for me here was Maxi Kleber getting 32 minutes, and small sample so far, but 37 minutes against the Suns and the Hawks, and they're plus 16.3 net rating with him and KP. KP's minus 5.1. We've seen these KP at the five lineups get roasted, so I think Kleber's an ad. I mean, this guy can block shots. We've seen him be valuable with minutes in the mid-20s, so I think it's worth seeing if he could finally figure out how to stay consistent with his role. Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench seems to be working so far. We saw him try that out earlier. So yeah, I think Kleber's a guy I'm looking to add. Dorian Finney-Smith looked pretty good early, so finished with a pretty solid line. And Josh Richardson got the stocks as well. You know, he's shooting it more. Wasn't a great line today, but really encouraging stuff the last couple games. John Collins matches his career high for the fourth time, interestingly, at 35. No free throws either, with 16 makes. Just crushed it. Running the floor great, hit some jumpers too, so it was all working. Can't totally buy it against a defense that can be pretty porous at times. Trey was bad all game, got a little hot late, but Kevin Huerter carried the load again. He gets so many minutes right now. He's going to be a bit of a sell high somehow if anyone could take him, because when DeAndre Hunter comes back, he was really the guy that was stepping into that tertiary kind of offensive role with Trey and Collins and the pick and roll stuff with Capella. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on Hunter coming back, but Huerter, props for playing well. Cam Reddish, solid on defense, but he's a little up and down on offense. No Sega Baba issues for the Clippers, and the Zubats, man, took advantage of a great matchup. The Cavs' interior defense continues to be really bad. They're really bad at put-back defense, so he came through. Other than that, Paul George, really good today. And Kawhi, 32 minutes in the back-to-back. You will definitely take that. Cavs with a weird game, only 10 3-pointers, one from each from Garland, Sexton. Didn't really get any great looks with the Clippers defense locking them down. Certainly wouldn't read too much into it. Garland's a pretty good shooter. And then also Drummond, man, he's just so bad defensively right now, as it looks like Jaren Allen may start to take more minutes from him. And then also on the radar all of a sudden is Lamar Stevens. He had pretty good defense against Kawhi. After the game, JB Bickerstaff called him outstanding on defense, so you're obviously not adding him. I had him in 30-man, but just keep an eye on that if you can maybe cut into some guys' minutes, Taurean Prince or something like that. Obviously, they're not really committed to Prince. Or hot Elfrid Payton in the first quarter, undid quickly, and unfortunately, some of our prop bets. But yeah, nothing really to take away from here against. Just had a bad defender on him, but Randall played well. As this rotation's sort of figuring itself out, it looks like. No Otto Porter for the Bulls. Some minutes got kind of split between Patrick Williams, Valentine, Sato, Temple. Other than that, not much going on here. Thaddeus Young continues to just be a monster if you picked him up after that Wendell news. Before that, you've been just chilling. He's been fantastic. Coby White, man, he might be on thin ice soon. His defense is just a disaster. Had a really bad shot late in this game. Zach LaVine is just better at offense, too, than he is. So we'll see if he gets on a short leash. Patrick Williams also may start making a move here with some more playing time. The Heat are 7-14, my word. The Athletic lineup wasn't really bad, but it's something to keep an eye on here. Nothing really to take away from him other than just, Spo may have to be a little different. He likes consistency, and he liked the consistency of this lineup that he's been using. But, as always, keep an eye on anything Spo does. Big win for the Wizards without Russell Westbrook, of course. Ish Smith was terrible, and Troy Brown, pretty good defense. Even was out there late in the game. Alex Len also had some valuable minutes. Davis Bertans got a couple closing center minutes after he played 11 fourth quarter minutes in the last game. He was horrible there, but credit for him to going back to it to get a big win. Got some defensive stats too. Denny Alvia's big minutes increase is probably the big takeaway to put him back on the radar as a pickup. Wouldn't read too much into Alex Len having a pretty solid game here. Pretty much a desperation ad as Mo Wagner got the DNP-CD, but Scott Brooks said he will try to use all of his centers. Rockets? What happened there, guys? They just came out flat today. Christian Wood got a hook. Looking for some spark from some offense. He didn't look great while Cousins was better off the bench. Certainly not worried about that. Victor Oladipo, just stunningly bad with 24 shots. Missed a lot of good looks. Just really bad luck. Eric Gordon had a pretty solid game. Other than that, nothing really to take away from here. And don't forget, Oladipo will sit today with Wall coming back. Great win for OKC, and we lost Luguentz Dort to a sore knee. Going to get an update on that today. We'll see what's up with that. Theo Maledon, bad on offense, but 6 steals. Salvaged his line. Hamidou Diallo, really aggressive on both ends. Got into passing lanes too, so he looked great. Certainly can't read too much into it with no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Sounds like it was just a minor thing. Was sore the next day after his injury, so expect Shai to be back pretty soon. Kenrich Williams was the backup point guard today. He was really good. So props to Kenny Hustle there. And Darius Baisley, baby, really active, more ball handling. Love to see it. Stepping up in a big opportunity and putting up a good line. To the Wolves, it's pretty close to bye-bye Vanderbilt here as he was straight Naz Reid's backup. That's not good with Cat eventually, hopefully coming back soon. We'll see what happens with that. Josh Okogie got kind of torched a little bit here and there. Anthony Edwards going to be real up and down. Malik Beasley finally had a good game on the road scoring. Other than that, not much going on. Jakob Poeltl, hope you added him. LaMarcus Aldridge going to miss multiple games. Mentioned in the last edition, he had hip surgery on this hip a while back, so it's going to be bad. No procedure, but Poeltl has to be owned pretty much everywhere, and he's a guy you're going to lean on. He crushed it. He was a no-brainer play to me. Keldon, my word, you let me down. But other than that, DeRozan took over late in this game again. Pelicans finally looked good against the Suns team. Zion was awesome offensively. Steven Adams returned, and they just missed him big time. It's Billy Hernan Gomez overtook Jackson Hayes as expected, which Van Gundy said previously and then again today. But yeah, good game all around for the guys. Lonzo Ball's playing better too, so that's nice to see. Not much to say on the late game besides Tyrese Effin Halliburton and no Fox Given, and Tatum's really good at point guard. But let's get to the ads here, and we're going under 50% Yahoo. Got to start with Darius Baisley. I'm going to generally try to stay under 25, but Baisley only 40, that has to come up. Richardson's only 49, that has to come up. I mentioned Jakob Poeltl was the top ad yesterday, so he obviously needs to be added. That was a great call by me. Hamidou Diallo, got to add him now with Lugan's Dort news. Kenrich Williams also on the board, but Maxi Kleba also a guy that I thought was a really big winner today. Teo Maledon also a little bit of a winner from the Dort news and just playing better on defense too. Pat Williams, I like what he did today, and then Denny Avdia also saw a bit of a boost. So those are your guys. Catch you tomorrow.